Yo, 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 what's up, family? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? No, it's been a little bit, about 2 weeks. But welcome to episode 51 of the MMAHOLICS. Hope y'all are good. Hope y'all are blessed. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Always love having y'all boys here. But I won't be able to do this without my main man, Nikki, as always. How you feeling, man? I know you've been training real hard. As always, last time we were talking, you were doing jujitsu, and you actually beat that dude you grappled with that day twice in a jiu-jitsu match. But how you been in life, and how's your training been?
It's good, bro. Working just as hard as you. I know you've been doing your journalist stuff. Always text me, always keep me updated. Um, as you guys know, always check the Twitter. He's got it right there on the screen. Go check out his articles. But I've been good, bro. I've been chilling, training. I actually got another competition coming up this month. Um, First one was a success. I was super nervous. Went well though. Got two arm bars, little white
Hmm.
belt, no gi grappling. So I got another one coming up later this month. At a heavier weight. I did 200 or 205 for that one. I'm doing 210 because I haven't been eating well at all. So 210 under. That's been good, bro. Good training a lot of injuries. I had two black eyes. Both eyes were black for like a week or so. Good
Hmm.
though. It's fun. All good training.
Mm.
We had a
You know,
really good card we just had, and really good card we just had.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it was pretty good for sure. Like even with the UFC 320, just reacting to that right quick, we got to because we got that pick right. Alex Pereira did knock out Mahomet Ankalaev in the first round. I picked round three. I can't really remember what round you picked for him to get
I
the
might have it
KO,
in my notes. Let's see.
but to see it happen in the first round, I'll be quite honest. Like, I don't think any of us like could have said. I think if you just had him getting knocked out in the first round, you really just didn't like Magomed on Kalive, to be quite honest. So, but yeah, I mean, it's Alex Pereira. We did pick him to win, and we shouldn't be surprised that he did get the victory in such a dynamic fashion like that. He's one of the greatest strikers, literally of all time. And his belts definitely prove that. Even his kickboxing belts had proved that before he came, but now that it's translated so well to MMA, I think that it's kind of hard to say that he's not one of the greatest MMA strikers of all time. Definitely, you could say he's the greatest striker in the history of the light heavyweight division. I think that's pretty. I don't think that's a stretch to say. Like not like I think John's the best fighter. I think he's the best fighter ever. But I think in terms of like pure striking, I do think Alex Pereira is probably the greatest striker in the history of the light heavyweight division, and literally one of the greatest strikers of all time. How'd you feel like walking away with that main event? I know we definitely got to react to that because it was such a crazy result.
I was super hyped, dude. Like I wanted that so bad for Alex. I knew he could do it. I heard all the shit talk. People were just saying there's like, what adjustments could he even make? And it's like it was so disrespectful, so much recency bias for someone who put the sport on his back. And yeah, dude, he is one of the greatest. Like you can't deny it. Like people try and like force stuff. Like I've seen for a while now with this is a side note, even though Marab was on that card, people have
Hmm.
been trying to say Marab was a goat, and I do agree he might be. He probably is the bantamweight goat, right? That's like you can't really deny it much more. But then they're trying to throw him into all-time greatness, and it's hard to force it. Like you either are, you aren't, and I think Marab's getting there. I think he is. But like Alex, it's about like how much he accomplished in such little time, and then they're like, oh, they skyrocketed him, they've pushed him, they let him avoid all these people, and it's like dude, you just can't deny it though. Sometimes it's how impressive how he just knocked everyone out in his way. But like one dude, like Jan Blachowicz was like the only dude who didn't get knocked out by him, and just
Hmm.
everyone else in that path went out cold. And it was like he was saying he was gonna do it. So yeah, like. I think he's like up there with one of the better like light heavyweights. Just it's been so impressive in such a short time too, and I know there's a lot of people before him, and we hear this talk about him and John Jones. Like I told you a while ago that that would be a dream matchup during that first Tom Aspinall John Jones feud, and I told you it's like, dude, that would be so awesome to see them in their primes if John Jones could ever come down, even if it's at heavyweight. Like I just think that'd be so cool because that's the legacy that John was looking to fight against. And it doesn't have to turn into that conversation, but I am super excited because Alex winning this belt back really sets up 2026 very interesting.
And even how you bring up next year, I'm kind of interested to see how this is all gonna play out because he's 38 years old. You know,
Hmm.
so like I do think he's in his prime. I'm one of the biggest proponents of MMA fighters being able to be in their prime even at 36, 37, 38, 39. Especially given a guy like Alex Pro who hasn't taken that much damage in MMA. He did get knocked out by Israel Adesanya. And I don't think he lost to this. He's only lost twice. Yep, just to Israel and Magomed. So,
Yeah, and his other
um,
losses came before the UFC,
UFC,
wherever he was fighting.
his very first fight. It was like 2016. Like he
Yeah,
took like all them years off, and
yeah.
then he had that fight. It was like that made him like 3-0. Then he got signed. He was like 3 and damn, he was like 3-1 when he got signed. So it's pretty crazy to see all these fights later now just being 12-3. It was kind of like when Rose, when she knocked out, even when she beat not Joanna, Wei Lee the second time at UFC 268. Rose at that time was like 12-5. So the things she had done with a 12-5 record, was absolutely. She was like 10-4 when she won the belt. It was just like it's crazy to see. 8-3. She was 8-3 when she knocked out Joanna at 217. But yeah, I mean, I thought 320 was a great card. I thought it lived up to the hype. I enjoyed Khalil Roundtree versus Yuri Prohaska.
Yeah,
It pissed me off, man. I'm not gonna hold you, bro, because like Khalil had that shit in like the palm of
that's what
his
we signed up for. That was exactly what we signed up for in that fight.
for sure. And like you're 100% right about that. You know, it was just a matter of Yuri's pressure, but I do think Khalil was giving him problems. I do think he was piecing him up at the beginning. I don't think it was a matter of like Yuri having bad footing or anything like that. I just think Khalil's leg kicks, his pace, his pressure, his striking, his power, his speed, most of all, was giving Yuri issues, and I think Yuri just adjusted that very nicely. In round three, just blocking things with his chin, and yeah, he just walked forward and you saw Khalil gas out, man. He was like, he was winning that fight, yo. That's why you could hear John Wood the way he asked him, "Do you have 5 minutes for me?" Like, do you? Because he knew his fighter was tired. He knew he was tired. The way he was leaning up like against the cage like that, even in a 3-rounder, and he went 4 ferocious rounds with Alex Pereira in Utah in elevation at that. So it's just crazy to see like how that played out. Like seeing how he really just he won the first 2 rounds clean. And then he just got tired in round 3. I think this might have been like an adrenaline dump or something like that. But either way, it was good. How'd you feel about that fight? Because we got to react to that too, of course. That was a massive fight. I don't think Gary's gonna fight for the belt. He might fight for it again sometimes later. He's only 32 at light heavyweight. Alex is only 38. Lets you know how young Yuri was when he fought him the first time. And I'm interested to see like I think Yuri's just gonna fight likely the winner of Azamat Murzakanov versus Alexander Rakic. Maybe not Rakic because they just fought at UFC 300 not too long ago. But I think the undefeated Azamat Murzakanov deserves a big fight, and I think he's gonna get one eventually. And for Khalil, I think he can also fight the winner of that fight. Really, I do think the winner of that fight is going to get a big step up back like Alexander Rakic, and then like Azamat, of course, being undefeated. And I think Bill's at least deserving of one more fight in the upper echelon of light heavyweight, one more fight on a big pay feature bout, something like that. Don't just throw him back on a fight night. Not even a fight night main event. I think he's on like a big upper echelon light heavyweight fight, like how he was here fighting the number 2 contender. So I think he's proved that he definitely belongs there in the top 10. I mean, top 5. I mean, um, but that's really it for me though. I thought it was a fun fight. I don't think Yuri fights for the belt. Carlos Ulbricht's probably gonna get the title shot. But how do you feel about Khalil Roundtree versus Yuri?
I had Yuri in that fight, so like the whole time I'm watching my boys, I'm like, just wait, and they're like, "Oh, your man's getting fucked up." I'm like, just wait, like this is part of the game plan. And I'm sounding like a madman, like he's just getting butchered and his head's like turning. He's getting pissed off. I'm like, you have to wait. Like this is how he wins his fights, and he did it, dude. It was just so impressive. Like that turnaround was just like everything, dude. You saw it coming a mile away. Like I feel like even you knowing Roundtree was winning that fight saw it a mile away.
Yeah, like at the end of round 2, I was like, "Fuck, man!" When he was leaning up against the cage and
You just
shit, I was
saw it.
like, "Yeah, bro." Like,
As for like
bro.
how the division moves forward, I really think that I don't think Olberg's gonna get it. Yeah, I think Olberg and Yuri's gonna get booked because they're gonna rumor at it, and then Yuri's gonna be like, like I want the title shot, but I'm not scared of no one, and he's in my way right now, kind of thing. And Olberg's game, like he's a game fighter, so he'll take it. Um, for Roundtree, dude, I feel like a Johnny Walker rematch could be in play, right? Johnny Walker just came off an impressive win, right? He just beat what's his name? The Chinese
Zhang Mingyang.
Zhang Mingyai. I mean, impressive one right there. The Roundtree knockout was how many years ago? Or the Johnny Walker. That was a while back,
It's like
right?
2016,
Dude,
2017.
two different fighters now. So I mean, I think that'd be good matchup because they're both good fighters. Johnny Walker's goofy, but I still think he's a good fighter. I mean, he even that first fight with Uncle Live, he almost put him out with that flying knee. If it would have, I know would have could have, but I think there's some interesting matchups. And then with the Mirzakhanov and that fight, you have people like Jamal Hill that are like stuck in the division that are going to need fights, and they can't just hog a rank anymore. So I mean, I think there's ways for them to still get their boost up. Um, don't count out Rakic, I guess. If I'll go Rakic, I thought he was doing good against Yuri in that fight. But yeah, that's how I felt about it. Um, that was a great card,
Mm-hmm.
a great night of fights for sure. I enjoyed it. I'm excited for this fight night though. Super excited.
I agree. Yeah, man. I thought 320 was lit. I forgot to win. He gassed out Abu Sapai and Magomedov and beat him, choked him out. The opening fight of the pay-per-view was damn.
I don't know, but I was shocked when
It was Yusuf Salal versus Josh Simmons. Yeah, fuck.
mm,
Yeah, man.
I was shocked when Ju Sang Yu got fucking put out, dude. I was like, what the hell? He was
Yeah,
fighting way
that
too cocky.
let me ask you that last one before we move on to this fight night. Do you think that, I mean, kind of hard to say it was a hype train because they only had one fight, and that was Jeka Sergi. But what do you think happens with Ju Sung moving forward? I think they had a lot of
He
plans
just
for
needs to
him.
get back in there, dude. It was just he was riding too high on something. Whatever it was he was riding too high on. And I think you texted me. He's never gonna do that again. That cocky shit. He can't do that again because it's like you can't. Maybe he's a cocky person at heart, but he wasn't like that in his first fight. So to think that he's gonna act the same way he did in this one ever again, I don't see it. He's got to get back out there and get a knockout. And he has to do it, soon. Like get back in that cage. Don't sit out for a year because you got humbled. Like
Mhm.
take all that hype that you had. Yeah, you fell off, like your hype train's off, but like you just gotta get back in there and build that name for yourself again. You can't sit. You can't sit out because then you become one of those dudes who it's like, oh, this dude only fights every year and a half, and then people don't like that. People don't like when people are taking such long breaks in between fights. Like when you look at other people break down cards, like I watch other people break down cards before our breakdowns. I like to hear what other people say. They're like, oh, this guy, look at the gaps. He hasn't fought in a year and 8 months, then 3 years, and then last fight before that was 2020, and he only has one win. And like, when you're talking like that in perspective, it really brings your stock down. So
Mhm.
for someone that was riding so high going into that fight, and I don't think it was a bad loss because those shoot box dudes are pretty good. I just think he needs to get back out there as soon as he's cleared, I guess, as soon as he's good.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I like Daniel Santos. Hopefully he just loses. He's always been in
He's always
shape.
been game. He's a game fighter, bro. He's down for a fight. He's a scrap
Mhm.
because he doesn't like it's not technical. He wants to scrap.
Mhm. They were calling like Chubby Santos a new mythical fighter. You could see though that he kind of had, even at weighing in at 151, he kind of did have a little bit of love handles, a little bit. You could see it. But yeah, it was definitely a good card, like we said. But moving on to this week, of course, got a new fight night on the horizon. I think people got to be grateful to the UFC for being on the road as much as they have been. I truly am excited to see where they're going to go in 2026. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see the new locations. Obviously, we have the White House card plan that's already been scheduled for like I think June 14th. They said that is. So I am truly excited to see how that does go. But how do you feel about Vancouver? Have you ever been in Canada? I know you're from up north, so like I have
Yeah.
never been.
My brother
Uh
was there a few months ago. He said he enjoyed it. I I don't really, like I always like, Canada is like bootleg US, I guess. I don't know. That's how people make it seem. It's probably cool up there. But people make it seem like it's just like it's like all you always hear is like, oh, it's like US, but like, oh, free healthcare, and then they're like, oh yeah, but you gotta wait in the hospital for 6. I don't know. That's like all I know about Canada. I never really cared. Don't have a
Mhm.
passport, but maybe one day.
Mhm. Nah, it's all good. Like I had a friend. Nah, not had. I'm always watching my friend's podcast, MMA Odds Breaker. Shout out to Big Marcel, and Adam Martin. Marcel's always calling Canada the 51st state. So you're not the only one that thinks that. But weed is legal up there though, which is pretty crazy. Shout out to Justin Trudeau. But we got a good card though, man. Rainer de Ritter versus Brendan Allen is our main event. Of course, it was supposed to be Rainer de Ritter versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, who's healthy again and he's training. He just did an interview with the Weighing In podcast a couple of nights ago, and he is back healthy and training. So it's good to see that he's healthy again. Forgot what he said his injury was that pulled him out of this main event, but it sucks though because it's pretty evident this was a number one contender fight, 1000%. Anthony would have, if he would have won this fight, he would have been on like a 9-fight win streak in the number 5 rank contender. He would have checked every box needed to get a title shot. So I think he still can get one regardless. He's still really young. They're gonna try to put him in another big fight. He might get Whitaker after this, but bro, Robert's like number 8 now. So I do think they still want to get him a really, really big fight up the ladder. So we'll see what happens with Fluffy. But how do you feel about this card as a whole before we break it down? And what do you rate it on paper pre-breakdown?
I think it's a good card, dude. Like, there's a lot of good fights on here when you really look at it. Got a few people coming off title shots. Well, I guess one, but I know Manon. I completely forgot she fought Valentina on that Bilal JDM card. Completely forgot about that. Um, I think it's a good card. There's a lot of good fighters on here. It's interesting. To rate it for a fight night, the thing is, I don't know how many finishes there's gonna be. And also the other thing, it's taking place in Canada. And last time we were in Canada, it was either last time or 2 years ago. The Canadians did really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I do think on paper, just like name value for a fight night, I think it pushes like 8.5 to 9. Um, it's just how the fights play out because I could see a lot of decisions on here. Um, but I like it. I like it. I'm super excited. I got my main events on the prelims. So
Yeah, okay. Nah, you're a hardcore for shit, sure. But we can go ahead and dive in, most definitely. But again, y'all, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate y'all always watching this. We both got again, we'll both be so busy working and stuff like that. I gotta work like 3 jobs, and Nikki's always training, and he has a job as well. So definitely always trying to find time for this throughout the week. And we're happy we could break down this card tonight, most definitely. We can go ahead and pull up Tapology. It's a pretty good card, like I said. That's why I actually rated on paper.
you shared the
Um,
screen.
oh
You guys
yeah, I'm
did,
sorry
yeah.
about that. Please
We
forgive me.
switched roles today, guys. As you see, I'm not in my room. I don't got my PC on me right now.
And yep, give
Good,
me.
good point though. Tasteful in the chat. We do. There is some good. Dober is a lock for a finish. Um, Main event 50-50. I could definitely see that one going to a decision. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Are some finishers. There are some finishers on this card. We're about to get into it right now.
I agree with tasteful thickness as well. I think it's gonna be a lot of bangers on this one. I think they set this up really nicely. It's not too many squash matches. I think they gave him some real competitive fights. Drew Dober's like a minus like 480 over Kyle Prepelec. So I feel like you would want to bet that underdog money. He could come through in a big spot. We know Dober has been chinny, unfortunately, lately. And at 27-15, that's a lot of fucking fights, man. So but we can go ahead and start from the bottom. Work our way to most definitely. And starting out with the first fight of the night, Tainara Lisboa Crockett. I don't know. Messed her last name up. But yeah, so most definitely. If you could start out with Tynar, really appreciate you, Nikki. Most definitely.
Let me get my breakdown first.
Um,
You're saying?
yeah.
I
Oh,
got you.
Tainara. I'm sorry. Yeah. Lisboa.
My bad. Your mic was just
I
going in
do
and
think
out a
she's a
little bit.
pretty. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry about that. Let me make sure.
You're good now. You go.
Let me make sure I'm not. Yeah, my fault. Just want to make sure I wasn't lagging. And I was doing something on my computer right quick, but now we're good. We're good. All right, but yeah, starting out with Lisboa, girl is pretty young, most definitely at 7-3. I said young. She's 34. But hey, that's young in terms of life. Most definitely. She's coming in a plus 105 underdog in this one. And yeah, I mean, I think she's been all right so far from what I've seen from her inside the UFC. I know most people like Melissa Croden going into this matchup, but I think Tainara's looked pretty good. She is 2-1 right now inside of her UFC career. She's coming off that loss to Luana Santos, which doesn't look too bad, but the wins over Ravina Oliveira and Jessica Rose Clark don't look that good. Real. In terms of her career, most of her wins come by knockout and submission with 3 apiece. She also has been subbed twice, but we know she's a finisher. She's a killer be killed fighter, but definitely she goes for the finish. Always goes for a war. Most definitely her nickname Thai Panther, so let you know she does like to strike. Most definitely she's fighting Melissa Croden in this matchup. Canadian, the first one of the night. She has a lot of start the night off like that. Her whole friends and family at high school is gonna be watching this shit. So, watching this woman well. She's 6-2. Melissa Scare Croden. It's a pretty fire nickname. I'm not gonna lie. Making her UFC debut coming out of LA. Her last opponent was 8-6, and before that, Katharina Lenner was 8-4. So I do think that again, like I said, Tainara just having a couple of you has certainly faced the better competition, in my opinion. But you got to give Croden a chance. Both of them are the same age, so it's not like it's a really big advantage for either one. Croden's a little bit bigger at 5'9" with a 69-inch reach in the bantamweight division, so she definitely has the size advantage and the hometown advantage as well. If it goes to the judges, we could see them be swayed by that home crowd, but I don't know. Like, I woke up this morning, I was feeling Tainara Boa in this one, and stick with her. I think she's faced a better competition. I like her skill set more as a grappler, and yeah, I mean, I think she might have it be a little quiet to start the night in Canada. But who you going with in this one, Nikki?
I like Lisboa to win this one by a decision. She got the 3 UFC fights in her bag already. She's 2-1. She has pretty clean striking from what I've seen. She's pretty defensive. Croden looks like I mean, she's getting a lot of finishes. A lot. You're right about that. They're regional, so take that with a grain of salt. Lisboa has regional finishes also. Um, I just think Lisboa could have big moments in this fight, sneak through a decision. That's all really. I've said this a few times. These a lot of these female UFC fights, they do go to decisions. So you really just got to think about it. How do you see it happening? It's going to stand out on the feet mostly. Anything that gets taken to the ground, I mean, unless one girl is just water on top of on the other and just laying there the whole time. Um, they usually get back up. There's a lot of clinching. It's just about who lands the bigger shots in the fight, who's landing more strikes. I think Lisboa is just gonna edge her out in the rounds, get a
Mhm.
unanimous decision in this one.
For sure. Good fight to kick the night off. Starting off with the ladies, as always. Ladies first, you feel me? You can have the Bikoya versus Yusuri Belgori.
Hell yeah! So this is my main event for the night for sure. Super excited for this one. Uh, anyone doesn't know, Yusuri fights over at Teixeira's, training partner of Alex Pereira. So how I found about this guy about him was through my teammate, and he was telling me, yeah, this Yusri dude, he had a trilogy with Alex, and I'm like, Alex Pereira. So
In
I go watch it for
kickboxing.
myself. I didn't know this dude was a glory kickboxing fucking beast of nature, dude. He had 2 fights with Adesanya and he had 3 with Alex. He's really good, dude. I heard he's training hard. But when I found out he was fighting Asmat, I was like, fuck, because, like, Bakoev is so elite, dude. Like, so elite. But that's why I love this fight, because I know Yusri is just as good, and he could prove it. Dude, he's a 6'5" middleweight. So everyone's like, dude, how is Alex Pereira making middleweight? You should see this dude. He's lean to the bone, bro, and he is just humongous, has so much reach advantage, and he's a great kickboxer. On the other end, we'll give Bakoev his flowers because, I mean, he's super impressive. He has coming off these 2 knockout wins, I think, back to back. He's looked really good, dude. He shows up really well. He just gets in, closes distance, and he just puts people out. So he's kind of undeniable himself. I think this fight's going to be a barn burner. I think this one has fight of the night written all over it. This being the second fight of the night, it should be the first, or it should be on that main card for sure. I find it so crazy it's the second fight of the night. Um, in this fight, I've got to go with Yusri. Plus money. I like him in this one for a decision. I just think every time Bakoev is going to try and close the distance, Yusri's just going to have so much waiting for him. He fights off his jab so well. And then once he starts working in his combos and moving, sticking around the cage, I think he's going to give Bakoev a very long night. And Bakoev really makes his game off of landing big shots. Like, I just don't know how well he's going to do this on someone who's like a real glory kickboxing. I don't know if he was a champion or not, so I don't want to call him a champion, but that's the word that's trying to come out of my mouth every time I say it. So I don't want to say it if it's not. But yeah, I think he's going to be a long night for Bakoev. And at the plus money, I'm definitely putting some money on Yusri this weekend. So what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going through his kickboxing. On December 9th, 2017 was when he challenged Alex Pereira at a Glory kickboxing pay-per-view where it was a doctor stoppage in the 3rd round. Then he beat David Kaspersky, knocked him out the next year, fought Pereira again in 2018. He got knocked out in the 1st round that time around. So it's good to see he's a humble guy. It really shows really the essence of a good martial artist, really learning from those who had beaten you to see where you went wrong and where you can improve. I think for Borgori at 33, he still has time. I feel like, people want to shit on 30-year-old UFC fighters. You feel me? But I think that at 33, he does have time, especially at the middleweight division. He's in his prime right now, you could say, but as he gains more UFC experience, his prime might not be until like 35. No, look at Pereira right now. So I do think he is you can make the case he might be the better striker in this, quite honest, but I think that Azuma is really physically strong. He's the smaller guy, but a pretty wide margin. He has an inch reach disadvantage, and he's 5 inches shorter, but he's a minus 300 favorite. I do think I do think he will get the fight to the ground. He'll be able to really impose his will. He has 8 submission, 8 wins by a KO, so he is super well. Last time he lost, it was by a scarf hold choke, 2021. So he's on a really good run. A champion in LFA. He's gone 5 rounds before and knocked dudes out. So we know he has good cardio. I am really high on him. As I saw my friend in like a group chat one day, he was between Azamat Bakoyev and Artiba Gautier. That's pretty fucking close. Artiba's only 23 years old. I do think that fight is. I think he's super skilled, and that's really, really close. But of course, sticking with. I was gonna go with Azamat Bakoyev to get this victory. He'll be able to get the fight to the ground. It's really imposing his will with the strength. He's tall as fuck. He's tall as shit. He's way more. Like, I gotta go back and watch the weigh-ins. I know they were tonight. I gotta see that height disparity because that's insane. We'll see if Azamat wants to stay at middleweight. Pretty devastating loss to want to cut 15 pounds to go down on welterweight. But I think we down there at welterweight fighting guys no bigger, 6'1", 6'2". So him in this one, but I do got Azamat Bakoyev to get. I can take the next one. I guess I'll do the ladies again. A Brazilian showdown in this matchup. Luciano versus Ravina Oliveira. Yeah, that's with Luciano. She's a pretty cutthroat girl at 25 years old. Coming out of Brazil, just 2 wins via KO, never been knocked out or submitted. Only loss is confusion. And even like in her last fight, she Hughes, it was a split, and that's not a bad loss looking back on it, especially being a split. Seeing what Sam Hughes has done since then, take those from Victoria Dudikova, and just Sam Hughes has truly turned a corner. That she is a UFC caliber fighter, martial artist. I think with Luciano, really all a matter of her potential to be quite real. I think she went to a draw on Contender Series. Yeah, and she won a UFC contract in a draw. That's how good of a fighter. No, I think she won it first. I'm trying to remember what happened, but it says she won a contract though on that night. Years ago, she came out strong with the win over Talita Allen and defeated herself. And she took her unanimous decision, and then it's the same Hughes back in March. So that's taken some time off, but I think it was good to want to really learn from that first UFC loss. It's her second loss in her entire career. And her first loss came in 2022. Made some really good improvements between then, and I think she's going into her opponent, Ravina Oliveira. This girl is 7-2. It's funny, their records are hella similar. And they both have a draw. They're shooting in the chick is 7-2. So Ravina has never been knocked out, but she has been submitted at one point. Her last one came over. Simone da Silva and LKC, but that was 2 years ago. So it's been 2 years since she's had her hand raised, and we know that can be devastating for a fighter's confidence. She hasn't fought in 2 years, Ravina Oliveira. So we're gonna see how that layoff affects her. It was in October. Literally, it's been over 2 years, like 2 years and 3 days since she stepped into the cage. So who knows what could have happened? Maybe she's nursing injuries, she's getting better as a fighter. But we do know that she was a champion when she was fighting in MCF fights. And yeah, and then she defended her belt over there. So she has trained for 5-round fights. So this girl has good cardio herself. In terms of the skill set, because I did break down what they've done in their careers in terms of the striking and the grappling, I think Stefani's a little bit more well-rounded. I kind of just like her skill set more. I like what I've seen from her more, to be quite honest. And I was gonna go with Luciano to get this victory. I think she'll probably win this fight via decision. I don't think it'll be anything too crazy, but I do think she will win this fight. And I was gonna go with Stefani Luciano to get this done. And also the layoff too. That's pretty crazy. It's been a while. And fight, training speed doesn't replicate fight speed. And we're gonna see how that goes against her.
Go breakdown. Go breakdown. This one, few of these I'm gonna keep nice and short. I
Oh
didn't do
yeah.
too much breakdown, but I do know I'm gonna take Luciano to win this one by decision. Out of the two, I think she's a little more of the grittier fighter. She uses a lot of her probes, so her teeps, her jabs, her like low leg kicks, and she just kind of sets up with that. Just off of that alone, I'm gonna take her to win this fight.
Yeah, man. Plus, she's 20. Has hella fucking room to grow. So, I really do want to see her future. To be honest, the next one, yeah, most definitely.
What's up, my bad?
You heard me?
No. What'd you say?
Oh no, no, no. Oh no, you're good. I was saying you can take the next
Oh,
one. You got
okay.
it.
You're not lagging or anything, but sometimes like one word gets chopped out. I didn't even hear you say you. Um, but yeah, going into the next one,
Okay, my fault.
you're good. We got Kyle Propelek versus Prepolek versus Drew Dober.
Prep.
In this one, definitely taking Drew Dober first round knockout. Like I said, keep it nice, short, and simple. If you have something, you like it, you take it. Dober is just like the type of fighter. He doesn't. If you worry about a fighter straying away from their game plan, it's not going to be Dober. Dober is his first round knockout. Get in there, chin down, shoulders up, get in there and land a big shot. He swings hard for his knockouts. He gets them or he doesn't. Like that's the kind of fighter he is. Kyle, nothing was impressive. I looked at his resume, looked at past fights. I didn't see anything that was impressive, personally. So I'm gonna take Dober to win this one by knockout. I think Dober's like one of those guys where it's like everyone under him he just brutalizes, and everyone over him you're gonna see the reason why they're over him.
If Drew gets knocked out, does he retire?
How old is he?
He's like 36 right now in the lightweight division.
I'm not taking Dober's chin into account, but I'm definitely taking his power into account. Like Dober's power is undeniable in my opinion. Yeah, bad odds, fine, but like if I had to bet one, I'd rather bet Dober. You know, like I would fade this 100%. I wouldn't bet on this. I don't like betting on wide odds anymore at all because it just ruins your parlay. But if you had to bet, I'm definitely taking Dober in this one. Like I don't feel confident. I looked at Kyle. There's the Benoit fight, and Benoit, yeah, took him down and controlled him. But for me, no, I'm taking Dober to win this one by knockout. I wouldn't say it's an
Yeah.
easy pick at plus 350. I don't know.
I was gonna say, man, like he might walk away with that bag on Sunday morning, man. You know.
Yeah, then when you put it with 6 other picks and you're waiting for $2,000 and that's the play that fucked you up, then it changes everything, Those
But I
this
mean,
is a
like,
skip for me regardless though at this line.
so what do you think is gonna happen though? You picked so you think he's gonna go out there and just knock him out in the first round? Like, you think he's like a different level than him, or like what? Like,
I
do you
don't think
think
that he's a
like
different level.
Prep like
No, it's not what I'm saying. I don't think either of these guys are like the top notch of anything. It's Drew Dober, dude. He knocks people out. Like he's known to knock people out. He's not gonna do anything more than that though. It's not like we're gonna see a 3-round brutal masterclass from Drew Dober. Drew Dober could easily
Right.
lose it too. But if anything good happens for Drew Dober, it's gonna be a first round knockout.
For
That's
sure.
my lock.
I mean, we'll see. Nah, good breakdown though. Good breakdown.
Everyone's
I
got
mean,
a
hey
chin,
man, I
dude. Like
feel
these chins aren't made out
tasteful
of
thickness. Yeah, I mean,
titanium, dude.
yeah.
Everyone
I
could
mean,
get
hey,
chin.
at
We
least
thought
proving
Max
his
Holloway
case.
couldn't get chinned.
Yeah. I mean, in his defense, yeah, to port it, like that is
Yeah,
illusion,
but
bro. Like
shit,
that is
you never know,
illusion.
bro. Everyone's chinnable. Islam got chinned, bro. Only once in his whole career, and it's to a dude who's not even in the
Yep.
UFC no more.
Or fights. He never won a fight again in his career. Mariano Martinez. That's what makes that shit so crazy. Moving on. Up the card, most definitely. I'm got Danny Barlow versus DeJordan Santos. It's a close. The biggest thing about this is that Danny Barlow is moving up to 185. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure I'm not lagging.
You're
I think
good.
my
You're good.
connection, all right, cool. Just want to make sure my bar had one bar or whatever. So, um, Barlow coming up that knockout loss, and devastating result for the young. Really trying to make a big case for himself in the UFC. I think losing his probably took it like a lot of weight off his shoulders, and at least he can come out here and just really focus on being a fighter now, like Peyton when he first who did he beat after hanging Barcelo? It was Felipe Lima. And like he said, he felt like a real fighter after taking his first loss. And you can see the maturity in him after that, honestly. And see, and like I kind of feel the same peaceful feels. I think with this, I think Barlow had he was striking at Patterson with no respect. He was rocking him at first. He was looking for sure to the madness, and it was working. But I just think at like this high level shit, it takes one split second for something like that to occur. And now we know that he can indeed be knocked out. Granted, that was at 15 extra pounds of muscle is definitely going to help you for sure in terms of his ability to take a shot. He's not draining his body of all that drastic rate. So I think Barlow is due in this one, but he's fighting a 10-2 Jordan Santos. Yeah, I think Santos is pretty good. I still gotta watch more of him to really get a feel. He's 28 years old, so he looks younger than I I thought he was. Uh, but yeah, he's training an American top team, so obviously one of the best gyms literally on the planet. He lost his last fight to Ozzy Diaz, which looks fucking terrible. Saying that out loud, Ozzy Diaz, like he's really been laid up to dudes, to be like, to make them look good and stuff like that. So he beat Will Curry by decision on Contender Series, had his debut in March of 2025, and he lost to Ozzy. So just seeing that alone, I'm gonna go with Danny Barlow to win this fight by second round KO. I think the first round he's gonna really show his skill level in this new weight class. In the second, put him away. So I was gonna go with DB by second round knockout.
Got that left hand to God winning this one. I'm with you. I got him winning by knockout with his left hand. Dude, he has the range advantage in this one, and he could snipe at range, but then once he closes that distance, that's when he works, dude. He closes distance and works that left hook. Santos, now if I'm correct, this is like third last name change or something. Yeah, this wasn't his last name last time, right? He going by something else last
Who
time?
did
Jordan.
the Jordan Santos?
Was this
I
his last?
think so.
Yeah, he definitely had a different last name last time or something. Anyway, though, you are right. He has an American top team. He does have good cardio and a good chin, so this one can very well get pushed down the distance. Like Barlow could just be throwing his hardest strikes, and they might not put him out. But I like Barlow in this one to win by a knockout. I think that's a nice pick.
Yeah. Hey, most definitely. And yeah, shout out to Tasteful. Most definitely. I did not get to see the weigh-ins like that. Got off work, went straight to the gym, and came straight to the podcast. Thank you for looking at the weigh-ins, man. I appreciate you. I hope he looks good tomorrow night, man. I do. That's the fight I want to see the most. This fight is like the fifth night, so it's gonna take place around it's about 2 hours. It's about 2 fights per hour. So this will be around 6 o'clock, something like that. Right a little bit before the main card starts. So yeah, we got Bruno Silva versus Young Sung Park. Right after that, then we go to the flyweight division for this matchup. Bruno Silva, this guy's had kind of bad luck recently, getting knocked out a bunch of times, but he has knocked people out himself, including the Georgia native Cody Durden. So, I can't talk too much shit, you feel me? But I'm going to keep this one kind of short too. I like Young Sung Park, better fighter anywhere the fight goes. I think he just did the UFC a massive solid fight and generate talent on short notice. So, fighting Tatsudo Taira like that, it was a suicide mission, and he pranked in the second round. A 10-0 fighter at that smoked him. He really showed the level he truly is. How old is Tatsudo? He's like what? He's still 24.
Insane.
25. He turned 26 in January. This kid, he's gonna win. It's literally inevitable. Brendan Royval said it himself the night he beat him. He knew he was gonna be a champion. He that win on his resume. So, can't. You feel me? I think Young Sun Park's a great. And I think he just has to go out and reassert himself, get his confidence in, and that's what I think is gonna happen. He'll get his confidence back and get back on the horse. Everyone's story is different. Sun Park is 4 years older than Tatsudo Taira. Taira smoked him, made it look easy. So, everyone's story is different, and I think this dude. So, well, hopefully he'll bounce back here. You feel me?
That's crazy. Dude, I'm with you. I got Park winning this one. That's insane. Uh, fucking Bruno Silva, dude. You're right. He was unlucky with his past fights, dude. He coming off of Joshua Van, title contender over here, and Manuel Kopp, another dude who should be fighting for a title. He got TKO'd by both of them in his last two. It's very rough. Both very good fighters though, so it's not a bad thing to lose to someone at that level. but unfortunately, he was finished in both of them, and he is getting older now. Park is solid everywhere, but the thing with Silva is Silva's going to beat him in the grappling department. So what makes me think is this is going to be a very competitive fight. I think this is going to go down to a decision. Um, I think this could go either way, dude. It could go, Park could win just because he had better striking, or Silva could win because he had, 2 rounds where he controlled one on the cage, one on the ground. I'm gonna take Park in this one though. I just think the striking will outdo it in this a little bit. Uh, we got to see how chinny he's gonna be in this fight, Bruno Silva. So let's see. I'm gonna take Park to win this one by decision though.
You can have the next one, homie. Go ahead.
What we got next? Charles. Ooh. Where are we? Yeah, Charles Jourdain and Davy Grant. Okay. Interesting fight here. We got the vet Davy Grant versus dude, Charles Jourdain is like the shit. Like he doesn't get enough credit for it. He's a really good fighter. He's a fighter when I was like, I guess newer into the sport, because I did start. I mean, I guess I'm still like a new gen, so it's kind of crazy to say. But Charles Jourdain was one of those fighters that caught my eye pretty early on to watching. I got to see him fight Kron Gracie, which isn't a lot like to take home with, but just seeing that as the first fight and then watching him after that, I always thought Charles Jourdain was impressive, dude. He has like these spinning back kicks, and he's just doing all this shit. I found out he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, which he doesn't get a lot of submissions. He's best off his back, though. I did notice he has a really good guillotine. Davy Grant's good though. Davy Grant's gonna make this fight. He's the reason this fight's gonna be a good fight. He's been getting wins against pretty good competition recently. You could never count him out. With Davy Grant, his best strength is kind of exposing other people's flaws. But in this fight, I just don't know what Jourdain's flaw is. Like he's pretty well rounded, good at everything. Jourdain doesn't like initiate takedowns and wrestle fuck the hell out of anyone, so I don't see any flaws there that you could catch him. And even if he did, I mean, he's jiu-jitsu black belt. He should be getting out of this. I think this is super 50-50. It's just going to come down to the skill of Charles Jourdain versus like the grit of Davy Grant. I'm going to take Jourdain to win this one in this decision. I think this one probably stays on the feet the whole time, and Jourdain is just going to be quicker, in my opinion.
Jourdain. Fuck, man. This is now that
it
I
is
look
a 50-50. I wouldn't be mad at a Davy Grant pick at all.
I'm gonna go with Davy Grant, man. I'm gonna go Davy fucking Grant, man. I just think he still look good, man. I look really good. Like he's super dynamic. He still has good grappling. He's a great boxer. Coming off a win, decision went over Damon Blackshear, who's like great. I would have picked Key to beat Charles Jourdain just based off the grappling. I think he could give him issues. Great. I think he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a great for himself, but I just think Davies looked good. I mean, he's on a 2-fight win streak. I'm surprised for giving Charles this matchup in Canada, to be quite real, but I think it's a banger. Literally be on the main card, to be quite honest. Like this fight is that good. So I'm really excited. Like it is pretty close, but I do have Davy Grant. He's used to making the weight. Charles Jourdain is still getting used to the bantamweight division. He's all right at 5'9", 6 foot, a 69-inch reach. So, I think Davy is going to come out here with a good pace, good pressure, and I think he can box him up to get the win. And I think he'll be a little bit more dynamic. And if he goes for any takedowns, I think he could stuff him. And Davy's a good grappler too. How many wins does he have via submission? Like Davy, yeah, he has 7 wins, more wins via submission than he does fucking knockouts. So it's like, yeah, man, I think he's still really good, man. Unless his age hits him in this final where he finally starts to show 39. Nah, I think Dangerous is gonna win this fucking fight, man. It's gonna be a close one. I think it'll take us right into the main card this night. To be quite honest. It's gonna win fight of the night. Both dudes are gonna get paid. Hell yeah, you feel me? And starting out the main card, please don't forget to like. comment, and subscribe, y'all. Want to thank y'all again for joining us. Most definitely gonna go ahead and fights for y'all, so we can slide into. But yeah, we got Kyle Nelson versus Matt Favola. It's pretty obvious this fight's a fucking guaranteed finish. This might be the most exciting matchup. This might be the biggest banger. Like, they're gonna just stand in the middle of the fucking cage and fucking see who, like who's tougher, whose balls are bigger. You feel me? Like that's what they're gonna see when to the cage on this one. So, fuck, man, like, cause again, now that I start to think about it, like, I mean, man, it's pretty close. Like, I think Kyle Nelson really had a resurgence in his career. And at 34 years old, I thought he was looking really good. He almost got cut at one point. He was on the verge of losing his job, getting sent back to the regional scene. But he lost to Steve Garcia. That he was on like a 3-fight win streak. And he looked good. And of course, the wins are over for Fernando Padilla, Blake Builder, and Bill Gio. I mean, those are pretty decent wins, and we saw him get knocked out by Steve Garcia, but Garcia is in the main event, and Nelson missed with that. So, excuse me. So I don't think that was the best on Nelson. And like I said, we know he's a good striker. He's a decent grappler, fairly well-rounded. When it comes to Matt Favola, all power, all horsepower. This guy served in the military, so kind of take him. Definitely. I think most people know him about getting knocked out with a head kick by Benoit Saint Denis, or that 7-second knockout from Terrence McKinney. I watched that shit live. So, and it sucks, man, because he's coming off 2 losses right now. Like he got finished by Faraz ZM, and he got head kicked by Benoit Saint Denis the fight before that. So he's taking a lot of damage in his last 2 fights. Those were those were both fights. Like the only fights he took that year. He fought Drew Dober, knocked him out in 2023. But after the head kick, he sat down for the rest of the year, and that was in November. He came back September 2024 and got kneed, finished by Fares ZM. And I'm pretty sure that was on the Paris card. So, yeah, man, I do think that they're giving this fight to Kyle Nelson because they think he can win it. And it's a close one, man. I think Matt Favola's a little bit more dangerous, but I think he's been getting like he's starting to decline a little bit based off all the damage that he's taken. So I was gonna go with Kyle Nelson to get this one, but it's really close, yeah.
I have to disagree with you. I'm taking the steamroll. I'm taking Matt Favola in this one. Dude. I just think he's more dangerous. I think he's the better mixed martial artist, in my opinion. Like everyone knows what he could do on the feet. I mean, he's full of chaos on the feet. But at the end of the day, dude's a really good mixed martial artist. He is a BJJ brown belt. He has great cage wrestling. He's just very skilled, in my opinion, and people just lump him in with just like the chaos hothead striker, but like he does have the skill. If he gets you against the cage, it's like that's his game. That's his world right there. He's really good at it. I think, you think it's a guaranteed finish. I think he could ride this one out to a decision, in my opinion. It's just like that they're both such game that maybe the game plan isn't to just meet him in the center of the octagon and fucking butt heads, but to really try and win this fight, because he is coming off of 2 really tough losses. Benoit and Ziam, I mean, they're both good. They're both really good at this point, we're realizing. So it's not like a knock to lose either of those fights. Obviously, you want to win them. I have Matt Favola to win in this one. I think they're going to make a good game plan. Got good coaches around him, dude. He has Longo. He has dude over at Syndicate. We just said his name earlier.
John Wood.
Sean Wood, yep, bro, exactly. So he has a good coaching staff around him. They're not going to let him run into their head first. They're going to give him that good game plan, that good cage wrestling offense, and I think he could get a decision in this one. I think, there's 100% finish capability in it too, but I think he could ride this one out. Get a guarantee.
Good breakdown. I'm actually really interested to see what you have to say about this next one. I really, really like Cody Gibson. Just coming off the Ultimate Fighter. As a person, I actually really like his story and stuff. So What do you have to say about this one? Cody Gibson versus Oreki Long.
In this one, dude, I'm taking Areki Lang. I wasn't sure at first, but I'm taking Areki Lang in this one. He is coming off that loss to Raul Rojas Jr., which he had no chance. Like he wasn't supposed to win that fight in Sphere. That fight was made for Raul Rojas Jr. to win, and I think Areki Lang had moments in that fight, dude. He's Mongolian. That dude is 100% game to fight. Uh, I think it's going to be competitive though, because Cody Gibson is he's good enough to make this a competitive fight. It should be very back and forth. The only thing is he's 38 years old and has no momentum. He has no momentum coming into this fight, whereas Orekilang, he's 32. He's a little younger. So it's like the momentum. You don't need the momentum when you're 32. When you're 38 and you're coming into a fight, like it's whatever. You lose, you could go retire. End of day, boom, goodbye. But like if you have momentum, then okay, maybe I'll pick him in this fight. But like I said, Arekilang, he was coming off a loss that he wasn't supposed to win that fight. And his only other loss was Zahabi, right? So his UFC loss was against Zahabi. So I think he's gonna go in there. He's gonna throw his kicks. Golly, that comment's crazy. He's gonna go in there, throw his kicks, and do his thing. I think he's a decent fighter. Like I said, I thought he had some pretty good moments in the Rojas fight on the feet. So I'm gonna take Arekilang to win this one by decision. Actually, no, knockout. Let's go knockout.
Damn, you got Cody getting knocked out.
We haven't
Man,
got no
fuck.
knockouts. So I haven't been saying enough finishes. So let's take a knockout here.
So I'm just looking, man. Like some of these dudes aren't even like like Johnny Munoz Jr., like Amin Zahabi got knocked out by Amin in the first round. Beat Jay Perrin by unanimous decision. Jay Perrin, 10-5. Granted, ground and pounded Cameron Else. Lost to Cody Durden. Lost to Jeff Molina. Man, it's just like for me, like I just don't see like why Cody can't win this fight, man. Like I think he's a good striker. He's a good wrestler. He's taller. He has the reach advantage in this fight. At 38, like I get it. Like that's the biggest red flag going into this one. But I do think he can win the fight. I mean, I think he can impose his will with the grappling and with the striking if needed. I listen to Cody Durden. I'm not Cody. That's Cody Gibson, man, the gym teacher. I think he's gonna win this fight, and he can win this fight. I mean, he showed in the brackets on a fight. He lost. That was super competitive. It was really close. I thought he looked really good. And he could have won that fight. And I get it. He got submitted by Damon Blackshear, but I think Ricky Long's more of a striker, and I think this will play out on the feet. And so we're gonna see how it goes, and and that's what I was saying too. Like Cody Gibson, he is like really durable, and I think he has a good set of knees. I liked him on the Ultimate Fighter. He just lost, because he lost to Brad Katona. You feel me? So I do want to see how this goes, but I got Cody Gibson to win this fight via decision. I think it's gonna be a close fight. He'll make Cody work for it, but I was gonna go at CG to get this done via decision, the Renegade, most definitely. And going into this next one, I'm actually this next one. I've been thinking about this one a lot this week, but like, you can go first, Nikki. Go ahead.
Fuck. I wasn't sure. I wasn't planning on taking Manon in this one. I was really just off the base. I was gonna take Jazz Vicious in this one.
Jasmine.
Just because I've been rocking with her for a while. Like every time she's fight, I've been picking her. But I don't know. I think this is a different level in this fight. Manon was on a really good run before the title fight, and I know she lost that one, but like losing to Val isn't a knock at all. Valentina's right up there with the greatest women's fighters of all time, dude. Manon, she has an interesting fighting style. First off, she's huge. She shows a lot of jabs, probes. She's constantly moving around the cage. She's good. Jasmine, like she needs to wrestle to win. That's the thing. Like she needs to get you down. That's where she wins the fight. If she gets Manon down in this fight, yeah, she wins the round. Like that's it. She'll win those rounds. But it's just a matter of if she gets her down. I looked on the UFC stats and Manon, she has an 87% takedown defense. So for what it's worth, she's going to be able to stuff a few takedowns, keep it on the feet. I don't agree with that Valentina's washed in 2025. I don't agree with that one bit. I just think there's a big wrestling just disadvantage for Manon in this fight. So if the fight is on the ground, there's just it's 100% in Jazz's court. But when the fight's on the feet, I like Manon in this one, and it starts on the feet. Every round starts on the feet. And she's good. She's not some walkover. She's not just gonna get to the ground, get taken down easily. So I'll take her to win this one by decision.
Yeah, man, I'm going through like they were two totally different careers. Manon's fought like crazy, like she wins over like Mana Bro Silva, Caitlin Seminara. The Rose win. I'm not no gatekeeper. She did win. Like Rose broke though in round 1, I think. Like Manon's face was like covered in blood from like the strikes Rose was still landing. So and like yeah, and like yo, like
she was winning that fight,
even
bro.
like
At the end of the day, she made a mistake, dude. Like she was winning that fight
and
until
like
she
for
made
me,
a
like
mistake.
that's what it was for me. And that my favorite fighter, so I'm gonna try my best to remain unbiased. That obviously it was a spinning kick at UFC 285. Now even before that fight was really close. It was like 2-2 going into the like that. And I think that was also a matter of balance. If you watching her interview, she was saying she doesn't even watch tape anymore. She wasn't even watching tape after the Santos fight. She wasn't even watching tape on her. She thought like she could beat all of them, just regardless of whatever, regardless of the style. So I think losing lit a fire to her. And when she's motivated, I still don't think anyone can fuck with her. But honest, and we're gonna see. I already know how this shit's gonna go. Like in New York, it's gonna be one of them fights.
That's gonna be a good ass
It's the
fight.
build up. People should be disrespecting her, acting like she hasn't beaten bigger girl 135, like acting like she didn't almost beat Amanda Nunes, but they're gonna have her getting knocked out by a fucking strawweight. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Like, fuck
That's
out
gonna be a good
here.
fight, though. One way or another, it's gonna be a good
I
damn
think
fight.
for sure that's a legendary champion stepping up on the same fucking night to become double champ. I don't think they've ever done that before. Having two champions step up on the same night, that's never happened. So,
They did have that for the
322 is
last
gonna be a legendary pay.
that card where Alex won his belt, right? Because him and Tom Aspinall both stepped up for the belt.
But Aspinall was already a heavyweight though, like in the division.
Oh, you're saying both fighters moving up a division for the belt?
Yeah, changing weight classes. To get
Yeah.
another time. Two legends. Like it's like I mean, technically it's 3 all-time greats because it's Islam and Whaley. But let's see Jack Del Maddalena. He's 28 years old, fucking champion. So I think this guy, and we're not gonna get in on gotta save that for sure. We've been talking all outside here, so we know what the fucks, what we're thinking when it comes to that fight. But we're gonna see how that goes. I do think 322, that's card of the year. I think 323 is phenomenal. I'm not just gonna be lazy and say it's better. 322, that it's certain numbers, man. It's certain fucking numbers. Like when UFC 200 started, I was thinking about which one now, and like it went on. UFC 217 was one of those ones. UFC 261 ones. UFC 245, that was one of those ones. You feel me? So it's those numbers, UFC 322 is gonna be one of the ones, yo. But can't get too sidetracked for sure. Just can't wait for that card. That card's gonna have a lot of build up around it. Everyone's gonna be excited for that for sure. And the last thing I will say, I like how they let Islam keep his belt on the poster. For the sake of building up the fight. I love they let him keep his belt on the poster. That was really cool. But going in for this next one, bro, it's close. I was thinking about it all day. I mean, man, like it's just looking at her wins, but like none of these girls are wrestlers though. None of these girls are wrestlers. Not Caitlyn Sherman. Rose doesn't really wrestle like that. Myra Bueno Silva, she's more of a grappler. I think Jasmine has really, really good boxing and wrestling pressure. You know, the odds like Manon's a minus 235 favorite. Um, it's just interesting because Jasmine has the reach advantage with her boxing, but of course Manon's the better pure striker. Valentino was able to hold her up against the fence at 5'5". Jasmine's 5'7". She's a little obviously bigger. She is a wrestler, so that is what she does. She's gonna try to get the fight to the ground. It just matters if she can, like it's because this is her fight, it's if she's gonna fight for the belt or not. You feel me? So tasteful thickness. Yeah, man. So I mean, it's a close one, man. In my opinion, it's a fucking close one, but we can't stick too much longer. We only got like what 3 fights left. Um, and dude, because I picked Valentina to beat her. You feel me? So it's not like I just be picking against her for the sake of it or whatever. I mean, man, when I woke up this morning, bro, like I knew who I was gonna pick for this fight, and I don't be picking with my heart, man. I pick with my brain. I think about the way the fight's gonna go. It's either gonna look like the Natalia Silva fight where she just got fucked up on the feet and could do nothing about it. She couldn't grab, she couldn't do nothing about it. Like, and the last thing, like how long ago was that loss for her when she lost to Natalia? That was 3 fucking years ago. So it's like, man, um. And I think Natalia Silva could give fucking Manon problems, to be quite honest. On the feet, fuck yes. So, damn, man. I mean, man, this is fucking MMA, bro. Fuck it. I'm a like, I mean, shit, man. I feel you on that, bro. Fuck it. I ain't gonna go out here much longer, bro. I'm going with Vicious to win this fight by decision, bro. I think she can. I think she can. Like if Valentina hold her up against the cage, I think Jasmine can too. She knows what she has to do to win this fight. I think she's gonna go out there with a lot of pressure, try to box her up, and try to get the fight up against the cage wherever she can do. It's in Canada. If it goes to decision, I think she can get the victory. If she just has to put a pace on her, she has to put a pace. Erin Blanchfield, who is not that strong at all, held her up against the cage. I do think that she might be able, at least if she can get one takedown, she can get another and another. Like, I'm not saying she'll like get 8 or 9, but I do think she can get a takedown. And he's coming from a great camp with Niagara top team, and they do also merge over with American top team. They do fly to each other and stuff like that, though. And for sure, dude, like 100%, like yo, she's a plus 190 underdog. Like it is what it is. I'm gonna sleep like a baby if she loses. Like I'm not gonna be upset, but I don't want to like cheat myself when I feel like I think she can win. I think she can win this shit, man. So, it's like this is her fight. How good is she really? We're gonna find out, So I'm gonna go with JJ to win this fight via decision. Um, we're gonna see, man. It's gonna be a close one though, and I do think it will go down to the wire. I don't think she's gonna get pieced up like that. I think she's hit a new level, especially with her confidence, and we're gonna see how it goes. You feel me? But going into the next one, I'm actually really intrigued to see who you got in this one. You can start with this one, Nikki. Cheetah Vera versus Ayman Zahabi.
Hell yeah, man. Well, originally I was leaning towards Cheeto when this fight first got announced, but I definitely switched over to Zahabi. I think Zahabi's gonna win this one by decision. Cheeto is 2-3 in his last 5. Dude, everyone says it, but it's so true, dude. Cheeto just sits there waiting for a moment to happen that he never makes happen in his fights. It's very annoying. Like he's sitting there and he's waiting. He's waiting to get this one thing that's gonna win him the fight, and sometimes he just misses that opportunity. And someone like Zahabi is like 100% game plan. Dude, like he first of all, great coaching. Great, like there's a great coaching corner he's gonna have in this one. They're gonna come with a good game plan for this, and I think he's just gonna be quick on the feet. He's going to be, jabbing a lot and moving. He's not going to let Cheeto have that moment that he's waiting for. I think Cheeto's an exposable kind of fighter. I think this fight can go Cheeto's way. I think Cheeto does have, like, first of all, he has it in him to really put some fear in someone's heart just by hitting them. I think he's a very hard hitter, but like I said, it just looks like he misses moments because he waits for them. I think Zahabi's technically sound. Some people think he's like goofy or whatever. They don't like think he's that good. I think he's pretty good, dude. I don't. It seems like there's hate for him online. I didn't understand that really. Maybe I missed something, but it just
Who?
seems like he's
You
a
know?
hobby. I don't know. It felt like some people were
Um,
just like didn't think he's that good. I think he's pretty technically sound. I think he does the right things in fights. I think this is the fight you could win just off of a game plan. So I got Zahabi winning this one by decision.
mhm. That's a close one. And like, who would you say is the better fighter here?
Like just like in a street fight or like
Like, no, like martial artist. Who
skill
is the better
wise.
martial artist? Skill wise,
I
like
wanna
who is the
say I
better?
wanna say Zahabi is. I think Cheeto I
Damn.
think Cheeto has really good striking.
So you think he's not like a complete fighter?
Does he show he's a complete fighter? He consistently loses to guys who we end up finding later on are better, right? Like the dudes who go on to go to the top of the division. He consistently loses to those guys. And like that's Sean O'Malley, Corey Sandhagen. Those dudes are great. Like that's not like the Figgy fight. He was winning the Figgy fight until he gets fucking
Good
just what he got
drop.
dropped at like the end of the fight, dude. Like I don't know. Cheeto's
Mm,
cool. The concept of Cheeto is cool, but it's not a safe pick in my opinion.
it's close, man. Damn, bro. You're surprising me with these picks, man. Cheeto's 5 years younger. Um, just like damn, bro. I watched this media day. He's really motivated for this one. He's a smart guy. Like he's really, really smart. The 32-year-old Ecuadorian. Like he really is super intelligent. And like he does know um like what this is for him. Like he knows like what this fight is, and it's just like he has to defend his spot in that upper echelon. Topology has him as the number ninth UFC. No, I think this actually is the no, that's the Topology. I think in the UFC rankings, Cheeto's still like number 6 right now. So he's still one of those dudes, most definitely. They could like they want to get him back on a pay-per-view. I think he belongs on pay-per-views on main cards. But it's a close one, man. It's another close one, in my opinion, bro. I'm not trying to keep you here, man, because I do gotta watch this Lakers game myself. Um, because it's like, man, like who has Amon's a hobby really beaten? Let me go through like his shit right quick
He
and
has some
really see
good
what the fuck.
wins.
Like,
He has some good wins, dude. Whoa. He has good wins. Okay, he beat Aldo. You don't want to count that, but he beat
no,
one of
no,
the
no.
Bash
Like,
Rats.
I'm genuinely asking. Like, I'm
Yeah, he
okay. Like,
beat
he
one of the
beat
Bash
Aldo, he
Rats.
beat Pedro Munoz, beat Javid Basharat,
Yeah, I
Ricky
guess you got a point,
Tercios.
but
Like,
like, I feel like ever since his loss to Morales back in 2019, like all those wins those are solid wins. You got a
what's the
7-1
Vince
Draco
Morales,
Rodriguez,
bro?
11-2 Ricky Tercios, a Reiki Lang who's fighting tonight, Basharat, one of the he took the Basharats. You know, Pedro Munez, that's the dude who
You
like
are
in and
right
out the
about that.
rankings. On a good day, maybe he's in the
Jose
rankings.
Aldo.
Most days out. Aldo, yeah, that's a shell of Aldo, but still, bro, he's old himself, so it's not
See,
like he's not
like
like he's like 28 beating on a 40-year-old. That was like a 4 or 5 age difference.
because obviously we know he comes from a great camp. His older brother, Faraz Abi, and he trains at
Head
TriStar.
coach of
Um,
GSP.
all right, man. I'm gonna go Heyman's a hobby. Um, I'm gonna ride the momentum. I'm gonna ride it most definitely. He has good wins. I like the Basharats. some people don't fuck with him. I like Farid more than Javid, but I still think it was a good win. I just think he'll be more active in this fight than Cheeto. It's kind of hard to trust Cheeto, given his recent inactivity. He's been motivated for fights before, but he's still, there's some times where he hasn't thrown. He was in a title fight, but didn't throw. Um, and I mean, you got a point with that. I'm not really too confident in that case. But now, like, I was gonna go with Amin Zahabi to win this via
I put
decision.
Zahabi on
I
my
do think
parlay. I would put him.
damn, you're not confident. You want to put
I would
money
put
on this
Zahabi on a
motherfucker.
parlay. Yeah, what are the odds? If that's the odds, minus 130, that's pretty good odds if you're confident in someone. You know, I'm
Minus
not saying he's a
130.
lock. He's not my lock of the night, but I'd throw him on there. That's good odds to put onto a parlay.
And going into the co-main event, I want to appreciate you boys and girls for riding with us again. Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. Yeah, man. Like, so it's a close one. I don't really care what people are saying online about it. It is a really, really close fight. Odds indicate so. It's damn near a pick 'em on Tapology. This could go either one or two ways. Like, I don't think Mike Malott can knock out Kevin Holland. I'll say that right now. I think he's a good fighter, but I think Mike Malott's knocked out cans Adam Fugit and stuff like that. So I think Kevin has fought the way better competition, even with the win over Charles Radke. It's not like Charles Radke, was a world beater or anything like that personally. So I think that kind of makes this fight seem a little closer, even than what it already seems. Because I've seen a lot of people be confident on Mike Malott this week, and I do think that the wins over like Trevin Giles, like unanimous decision. Like if you can knock out Trevin Giles, I don't think you're knocking out Kevin Holland. He's a good fighter though, really, really good striker. Fairly dynamic when he wants to be. Good grappler too, has good wrestling. The former Team Alpha Male product, but now moved back to Canada. And I think he still trains over there a little bit, Team Alpha Male, just like here and there. I think he'll cross train, up in Canada and in Sacramento. So he's still a good fighter, Mike Malott. But I do think that, again, like I said, I think that Kevin Holland might be a little bit of the better fighter here. I just think he's a little bit more well-rounded, the way he utilized his jiu-jitsu, his limbs, his Darce chokes, his triangle chokes off of his back. I think he's a really, really good submission artist. He's a black belt under Travis Lutter. Everyone knows that, but I think Kevin actually uses his jiu-jitsu in a way that not many people like really can, with the way he utilizes his limbs. He was never a bad wrestler. Only thing that would happen at welterweight, he would just get out muscled. Like it was dudes who were way bigger than him, and that's what was what it was. And I think now, he's in his natural weight class. He's committed to 170. There's more money for him at 170. So, and yeah, keeping it with his skill set, he's a good striker himself. Has great body kicks, great high kicks with his legs. Dynamics, pretty good boxer, especially when he's using the full extent of his reach at a distance. Can really load up those punches. And yeah, he has good elbows as well. Good good hooks when he's in the pocket and he's in a brawl. Solid chin too. Kevin can very much still take a shot. I just think the Daniel Rodriguez fight, like a lot of people bet on him to win that. He was a big favorite. And if another referee is there, like they literally stopped that fight. Like when Daniel was folded over and he was wailing on another referee, literally stops that fucking fight. So it's like, I just think people have revisionist history, and not to be biased, of course, giving Mike his credit. He's looked good inside the UFC. That lost to Neil Magny. He was winning that fight, just gassed out in the third round. And I don't think Kevin's gonna have that kind of wrestling pressure that Neil Magny did. I just think they're gonna be at a distance and really go back and forth and box and strike. It's a close one though, man. I think I was gonna go with Kevin Holland. I think he's fought the way better competition, and I think that's gonna show in this fight. We're gonna know where Kevin Holland is in his career if he loses this one. I watched his interviews. He's really motivated for this fight. He's gonna fight this last fight, and he said he wants to sit out damn near all of 2026. He really wants to sit down, let the body heal. He said his kids really miss him at home because he's been fighting so much. I think this is like Kevin's fucking fifth fight this year. So, I mean, yo, like the UFC pay him pretty good. We know he got a really big bump up in pay off that Hamzat contract when he took that fight at UFC 279. So, because he said himself he did get paid. So, yeah, man, I was gonna go with Kevin Holland to win this fight via third round submission. I think it's gonna be a good fight, back and forth. I think then the third round, like it's just gonna be a crazy fight, and I think Kevin's gonna get like a Darce in a scramble or something like that. But I was gonna go with Kevin Holland via third round submission in a crazy fight.
Good breakdown. I'm with you. I'm taking Kevin Holland to win this one. Like you could say whatever you want about Kevin Holland, like, oh, he's not committed, oh, he only takes some fights serious. If you watch that last fight and you saw how he's been talking about that fight, he's not happy he lost that fight. He's pissed off.
Lost that
So
fight, and
to anyone that thinks he's gonna come out and half ass after that performance in someone else's territory, you're out your mind if you think he's going to go out there and let someone else win in their own home crowd. No, no, no. Dude, my opinion, it's like even on Mike Malot's best night, he isn't better than a good night of Kevin Holland. Like Kevin Holland is good, bro. There's the commitment issues, yes, of course, and there's some nights he doesn't look good, but on a good Kevin Holland night, it's an easy pick. If we could say, okay, good Kevin Holland night versus this fighter, you're taking Kevin Holland against so many people because that's just how much skill he actually has. He goofs off. He thinks fights are jokes sometimes. He talks to his opponents, and he stopped talking to D-Rod quickly because he realized, D-Rod was fucking him up in that fight. Dude, Kevin Holland has it inside him to win like a lot more fights than just this one. But this one, 100% here. I think he's gonna lock in this fight, and I have him 100% winning by a finish.
yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a close one. It's not to shit on Mike Malott. He could win this fight, obviously. I just think that Kevin, again, he's fought. It's not even close compared. He's fought Hamzat fucking Shimaev, bro. So like, even how long that fight lasted, he had the experience. So I just think that alone, he's fought way better dudes. Joaquin Buckley, Derek Brunson, has a win over Jeff Neal on the regional scene, of course. Just fought way better dudes in my opinion, and we're gonna see how this goes. If he wins this fight, the fight to make is Neil Magny. They've yet to fight for some reason, and I think that'd be a really fun fight to watch between the two 6'3" welterweights. Going into our main event of the evening, I want to thank y'all for riding with us. I'm going to go ahead and close the book on this on a great UFC Vancouver card. After looking at it, this main card is phenomenal. I love it when you can just sit back and relax and just enjoy the whole card from start to finish. So I'm the co-main, bro. So you can go ahead and have the main event, Nikki.
All right, man. Like, okay, for this fight, I thought I was confident, and then I wasn't, and now I'm back confident. I like RDR in this fight, and that's Brandon Allen. I like Brandon Allen. There's something about Brandon Allen, his skill set. Like if you could watch him training, I feel like it'd be really good because I think he has a lot of skill. And then when he gets into the octagon, it's weird because like he doesn't bring the fight all the time, and he has all this skill, but sometimes his game plan's off. There's something about Brandon Allen that's weird in the actual fight. It's almost like the concept of him is cooler than the actual fight. Like it's like, oh, Brandon Allen fight week, oh, fucking great jujitsu, and he has those cool kicks that he sets up. But then it's like, when you watch it, you're like, eh. And that last fight, I think it was the Vittori fight. Like he had that, he looked like he was gonna finish the fight, and then it's like, oh wait, he's not. And he's like hugging the back. Thing about Brandon Allen, like both these dudes have phenomenal jiu-jitsu in this fight. I think RDR's MMA jiu-jitsu is a little better. It's a little more well-rounded. His MMA grappling. Brandon Allen just has a really good knack of getting the back and sinking in rear naked chokes. I think RDR is going to have phenomenal rear naked choke defense. I mean, that dude is an elite grappler. They both are, of course. RDR, he has that Dutch style striking. They're very notorious for their kickboxing over in the Dutch area. So I like RDR in this fight. He's like, I say about a lot of fighters, he's game, dude. He brings the fight to people. He's on a great win streak in the UFC. I think he's gonna get to that title shot very soon. If this isn't the title eliminator, I'm not really sure what's going on, but
Mm-hmm.
I like RDR in this one. I didn't really pick a decision method. You know, he took Whitaker to a decision, and I'm not trying to MMA math it, right? But like Whitaker is better than Brandon Allen. I think he has the chance to finish this for sure. Um, but Allen is an easy finish. That's the biggest problem for me. So I could see RDR maybe winning 4 rounds in this fight.
Mm-hmm. 4 rounds. Okay. Yeah, man. I was gonna go with Ryder de Ritter by a third round submission. I think it's gonna be a pretty fun fight while it lasts. I just think his pressure is gonna be a lot. Brendan Allen's a good fighter, good striker, good grappler himself. But we saw what happened when he fought hindered Anthony Hernandez, and he did get tired himself in that fight. And I think Rainer de Ritter's gonna have a lot more pressure, especially with those knees up the middle. I think he'll be spamming that like UFC 5 early, just trying to hurt him to the body, especially being the taller guy in this matchup. I think by a couple, yeah, it's by 2 inches. So, yes, a 3 inch reach advantage. You know, he's not much of a boxer, but he will jab and has decent leg kicks as well. But I just think he's going to want to get the fight to the ground in this one. And I think, again, his pressure is going to be a lot, you know. Um, I like his Muay Thai a lot for real, for real. So, and again, to give Brendan Allen his respect, like I said, he's a pretty well-rounded fighter. He's still young himself at 29. It's just like I think people have wanted to see what he can really achieve in this division. He beat Marvin Vettori in his last fight after seeing like the beef they had, you know. So, I mean, man, like I just think it's kind of a bad situation for Allen taking it on short notice like that. I don't think he had a fight scheduled prior to this, so he really might just be taking this like off the couch. So, of course, he hadn't fought Allen that long ago. That was in UFC 318 because he fought at home. So, yeah, that was in Louisiana. That was in New Orleans. So it's not that long ago. It was a unanimous decisions on July 19th. So, we'll see how it goes, man. But I think just not getting a chance to really game the way he really wants to for Reiner Ritter. Um, I don't know. I think it just really goes in Reiner's favor. And do you remember when Anthony Hernandez had pulled out? I think Brandon might have got
No, but
like
I heard he's
4 or
healthy
5
now.
weeks
But he had an injury at the time. I heard he's good though. He said in an interview he's good now, but he wasn't. Like he was obviously hurt when he pulled out.
because I think Brendan Allen he might have had like weeks to prepare for this, something like that. It definitely been a
It's
while.
been rebooked for a little while now. It's been a few weeks. This is definitely like 3 4 weeks of notice.
So he definitely got to get in shape a little bit. He's always training, so we're gonna show. But I just think Rainer the Rainer is gonna get the fight to the ground when Allen's tired, and I think they're both good grapplers. But I think RDR is the better grappler, the former one championship double champ. So I got RDR to win this fight and hopefully secure a title shot. I also think they might just rebook the Fluffy fight. They could just do that. It depends. It really depends how he beats him. If he smokes him, I still think RDR sits down for the rest of the year. But early 2026, I think that's when they fight, possibly on that White House card. I think that's what that would be. They'd be in like the opening bout of like that pay-per-view on the White House card. RDR versus Fluffy Hernandez. So and it'd be a number one contender fight. So we'll see how it goes. But either way, I do think it is a good card. I am looking forward to it and giving my post breakdown rating. I think this is about an 8.5 for a fight night. Pre-production, before the fights actually go down. They definitely have a chance to deliver. It's a good fight night. I really enjoy it. Um, and I think for this time around, Canada really got hit with a good one. I mean, people didn't like the UFC 289 or 297 outside of the main event. So I really do like this card. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the middleweight division. It's really active right now. So, last thing I will say, just giving us slight reactions. I do got to go right now. UFC 323, it got announced. Abdulashvili is fighting Alessandro Pantoja. We didn't really get a chance to react to that. I am really excited for that card. you know, did I say he's fighting Alexandre
Yeah, they're
Pinto? He's
both
fighting
fighting.
Piotr
They're both
Jan.
fighting. Yeah.
They're both fighting. But that I was gonna say though, because obviously we know Pinto's fighting Josh Van. I think that they're putting Marab and Alexandre on the same card because for two dudes who have cleaned out their divisions, they want to have it where like it's literally no excuse for them not to fight each other. Because also on the same card, Brandon Moreno is fighting Tatsudo Taira in the pay-per-view opener. So like, we literally have all that shit going on all on like the same night. So it's like I think I love when they do that, and I do think that they're gonna ask Alexandre, at least ask him, have you ever thought about moving up? You feel me? So because I would love to see Marab versus Alexandre. So the grappling in that fight is absolutely insane. So just before we close it out, how did you feel about 323? And yeah, man, that's it.
323 is the one you're just saying, right? The one coming up.
Yep, December
Yeah, that's
December
December
6th.
Yeah, that dude, super hyped about it, dude. They announced 4 really good fights on there. 100% right. The winner of that Moreno and Tatsuo Taira probably is going to get a title, or probably going to get a interim title shot if Pantoja is moving up. So they'll find out a good opponent for him. I think it's good. I like it. The Marab and Yan fight, like, what else are you supposed to do? No one else for Marab. Super hyped for Joshua Van. I know everyone is. If you're a fan of the UFC, you're hyped for that. So I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, it's a good card, man. Most definitely. It's definitely a lot more fights on that card. We're not talking, like Peyton and Talbot versus Henry Cejudo.
Cejudo, yeah, retirement fight.
Yeah, literally, bro. And like it's funny because I guess now he's retiring for real this time, But I am happy that he did indeed come back. When we talk about it 20 years from now, we will talk about that, when he retired the first time and he came back. And like, of course, he took some losses, unfortunately. People that wouldn't have had held a candle to him in 2019. He would have fucked all the. I mean, Aljamain, I don't know. I think that would have been a close fight, but I think he would have beat Song Yadong's ass if that was 2019 Henry, before he gave up the title, especially. So, yeah, man, like we're gonna see how it goes. I think that's a great card. We finally got Jan Blachowicz back at 42 years old. He's fighting Bogdan Guskov. We're gonna see how it goes. I don't think are there fights next week.
I have no clue.
This is what October.
Yeah, the Gone card.
Pay-per-view. Yeah,
Espinal.
pay-per-view. Yeah, bro. Pay-per-view. So y'all will definitely see us next week. I don't think we've ever missed a pay-per-view. So thank y'all so much. And y'all have a blessed weekend. Enjoy the fights, most definitely.